Hi, I'm Nathan Twombly, speaking to you from my home in Blue Springs, Missouri. Today I want to share a story from early in our church's history, a time when many members lived in Kirtland, Ohio. When most people think of this time period, they imagine the construction of the Kirtland Temple and the many sacrifices people made to construct that sacred space, and of course the spiritual experiences that happened there as well. But during this time, church members weren't just making sacrifices for a building, they were also making sacrifices to help those in need and see that their physical needs were met as well. In September of 1832, Bishop Newel Whitney was instructed to travel round about and among all the churches, searching after the poor to administer to their wants by humbling the rich and the proud. The church at this time made several efforts to help the poor, but one that stood out to me were the fast meetings where church members would give up a meal and instead bring that food to the bishop, who would distribute it to those in need. Sometimes the food was distributed at feast and blessing meetings, which the poor of the community were invited to. And during these meals, prayers were also given to those who requested them. Newel and Ann Whitney helped to organize and finance many of these meals. And Ann recalled, "We had always been in the habit of entertaining our friends and acquaintances generously and hospitably, but after we received the gospel, we did not feel like using our means and time in a way that would only benefit those who had an abundance of this world's means. According to our Savior's pattern and agreeable to the prophet Joseph's and our own ideas of true charity and disinterested benevolence, we determined to make a feast for the poor, such as we knew could not be returned the same to us: the lame, the halt, the deaf, the blind, the aged, and infirm. The feast lasted 3 days, during which time all in the vicinity of Kirtland who would come were invited and entertained as courteously and as generously as if they had been able to extend hospitality instead of receive it. To me, it was a feast of fat things indeed, a season of rejoicing never to be forgotten." So this quote comes from page 245 from Mark Staker's book, Hearken, O Ye People. And I really like this part of the Kirtland story because it's an example of the church uniting in a common cause and demonstrating joyful generosity. Those who had something were willing to give that up to help others. And this time of sharing was inclusive. All were invited, and all who came had their physical, spiritual, and even social needs met in this time of celebration. It's a reminder of the joy that we should find as we are able to share and help others.